Everyone, welcome to the new episode of Partnership Account. Today we'll discuss what causes the changes in partnership and how do we prepare revaluation account. So in our previous video we discussed that partnership changes because we change in partnership agreement. It could be change in profit sharing ratio, change in partners salary or interest on capital, interest on drawings. If any changes that occurs in partnership agreement, we call it change in partnership. Another reason is when we want to admit new partner in the partnership. If we have new partner, then we call it change. And third one is because if there is a death or retirement of existing partner, we call it change in partnership. Now, why change in partnership is important? Because on this date, when there's a change in partnership, we need to prepare revaluation account. Now, revaluation account is mainly prepared to distribute the profit or losses that arises when there is an increase or decrease in the value of assets and liability. So on this date, we need to revalue the asset and liability that we have. And if we make a profit or loss, then it needs to be distributed to capital, or it needs to be distributed to old partners. So when we prepare or when we make revaluation account, following journal entry needs to be passed. First two journal entries that we have here is to transfer its assets and liabilities value in revaluation account, okay? And this is called old values. So if the asset is worth, let's say 100,000 and it is revalued to 110,000, then that 100,000 is called old value, okay? So we can say transfer of old value. Now, once we transfer this, we need to find out what is the new value of asset, okay? So once we find out the new value of assets and liability, then it needs to be transferred back to assets and liability account from revaluation account, okay? So here we can say this is the new value, okay? When we look at the question closely, we'll see what was the new value and what was the old value and what is the new value of asset. So when we look at new value and old value, depending on those values, we can find whether we made profit or loss on revaluation. If it's a profit, then we need to add it to partner's capital account. If it's a loss, then we need to subtract it from partner's capital account. Let's try to understand this with the help of example. Let's say, for example, a partnership has assets and liabilities, and these are the figures before the changes and after the changes. Now, before the changes, partnership assets has building and car, and its value is 200,000 and 50,000, and its liability has trade payables and bank loan, and its value is 9,000 and 45,000. Now, due to some reason, there is a change in partnership, and after the changes, the building value is now 225, 50,000. Car is only 3,000. Trade payable is 8,000. And bank loan is 45,000. And at this moment, we can calculate what are the profit or losses in each of these assets and liability. So we can say that building has increased from 200,000 to 250,000. So there is a profit of 50,000 here. Okay, so we can say this is profit. Now, car was 50,000, it has gone down to 3,000. So there is 47,000 loss. So there's a loss. Now, for trade payable, it was 9,000. Now I have to pay only 8,000. Okay. So there is a profit of 1,000 for me. And for bank loan, there is no changes. So nothing replaced. So the total profit in this case is 51,000. Total loss is 47,000. So our profit is more than loss. So my profit is 4,000 here. So this is called profit on revaluation. So we learned how to make journal entries. So with the help of that journal entry, we can make our ledger account, okay, which is my revaluation account. As you can see, when there's a transfer of assets, we need to make this journal entry, revaluation account debited to asset account. And the two assets that we had was building and car. Okay? And this was the old value. This is the old value of my building and car. So we need to first transfer this old value. So I'll transfer this old value, and according to this, I need to write down assets on the debit side. Okay? So to car and building. And its value is 200,000 and 50,000. So here you go. Now the second entry is transfer of liabilities. So it's a liability account debited to revaluation account. Okay? And in this question, my liabilities are 9,000 and 45,000. These are my old values. Okay? I'll transfer them here. So according to this, I need to write down liabilities on this side. Okay, sorry, this is my revaluation account. Now, the third journal entry is transferring back my new value of asset, which is asset account debited to revaluation account. So in this question, the new value is this figure. So if I go back, then I need to write down new values here. Okay, and its figures, oh, I forgot to write down these figures here. Okay, 200,000 and, so now the next journal entry is transferring back my liabilities new figure, and the journal entries is revaluation account debited to liability, and in our previous case, these are my new figures for liability. Transfer them here, okay, along with the figures. And now, as we can see that there is a profit on this revaluation, so the following entry needs to be made: revaluation account debited to partner's capital account, and we'll transfer this into partner's capital account. Now, when we make a total here, the total will be the same. Now, this is first step. When we calculate profit or loss on revaluation, in this case, the profit we made is 4,000 here. This 4,000 needs to be transferred to partner's capital account. And we know that when we say partners, there will be more than one party. So for this example, let's say we have two partners, partner A, okay, and partner B, sharing the profit and losses equally. So what we do is, instead of writing down 4,000 here, we say partner A would get 2,000 and partner B. Okay, so this is how we prepare revaluation account. Hope you like the video. If you want to know more about accounting, write in comment section below. I'll try to answer all the questions that you have. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a nice day.